When U.S. President Ronald Reagan first met Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev in Geneva in November of 1985, it marked the start of a Cold War thaw between two nuclear superpowers.
It was a real moment in Cold War history in that no general secretary after the invasion of Afghanistan had sat across the table from a president of the United States.
A narrative that drove playwright Rogelio Martinez to dig deeper into an event he didn't fully appreciate at a time when he was 15 years old.
Though the play has to do with Reagan, Gorbachev, it's not. It's about me, ultimately. It's about the world I grew up in. So it's an extremely personal play, but it's also a historical play.
Born in communist Cuba, he fled the island when he was 9 with his uncle during the Mariel boat lift. So what informs the play about the historic Geneva summit comes from a personal experience, first under Soviet influence in Cuba, and later under American democracy, led by the great communicator.
I started to write the play, and I realized that Reagan himself was a bit of an enigma. He could pivot, which is a wonderful thing in many politicians. He could change. He followed his own course and his own instincts.
Which is information Martinez gleaned from lengthy letters between Gorbachev and Reagan before the meeting.
They didn't speak in sound bites, let's just say. They actually found a great responsibility in every single word they put on that page.
And had to be thought out more carefully and more critically.
William Dick portrays Mikhail Gorbachev on stage.
No! They asked for our help.
There was a huge abyss between these two people and these two cultures that could have led to a nuclear disaster. But they had the courage to reach out in the dark, blindly, to each other to make an overture. They were both skeptical. They both thought it wouldn't work. And it was difficult, but they began to talk.
Actor Rob Riley plays opposite Dick's Gorbachev as Ronald Reagan.
A lifeguard.
Riley says what unfolds on stage in Blind Date isn't just a serious examination, it's also infused with some humor that serves as a history lesson relevant to today.
You know, any play about international politics and leadership is going to have resonance with the present.
There's incredible optimism in the play, something that is lacking in today's times.
It's about dialogue. It's about talking, as Reagan says in the play, not talking at each other or about each other, but talking to each other, daring to go on that blind date.
Blind Date appears at the Goodman Theater through February 25th, but Martinez hopes for wider audiences and believes what makes for good theater someday will make for a good film.
This is Hollywood.
Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Chicago, Illinois.